In the spirit of our forebears, it's Vlogger 575.
I slept so well. Probably got like 11 hours of sleep, which was amazing. Now, it puts me behind a little bit on the day, but today was gonna be just kind of a chill day anyways. My plan was to go for a run along the promenade and then go to the market to get like something to eat. You know, like at least an early warm-up snack to keep going. Although hopefully, I don't know how late the market actually runs on Sunday, so hopefully we haven't missed it. And then after I've showered and whatever else, I was gonna just kind of walk around and show you guys where I used to live, where I used to eat, where I used to work, all that kind of stuff. Just kind of walk around Nice. Check it out. And then hopefully Ninu's gonna join me later, another Niçoise friend who I was planning on hanging out with. This tripod is melting all over the place. It's a problem. I really need to go get a new one. So hopefully we can also go by Fnac and grab a new tripod. Oh, poor little tripod. With that, let's go take it. I don't have sunscreen, so I still need to wear a hat. But let's go take advantage of the sunshine. I also have half my Mr. Pizza left. I just don't want to eat too much of it before I run. But I should eat something. It's even better from the fridge. Quick running break, see if the market's still open. Soka is what I really want, but not in the middle of a run. The market's open every Sunday. I don't know if it's open any other days, actually. I have to Google that, and I'll put it over my face. All right, apple done. Back to the running portion. Halfway point, about 3.2 miles, I think. Definitely gonna get a 10K out of this. Ran the entire length of the beach. Like the promenade ends right here before you get into like the airport district, if it's a district. This is actually where I used to have to cross to go to work, which we might look at later. But I'm probably gonna take a bus to get here next time because I don't really wanna walk another like 3 miles to get here. Anyways, back to it. Ended up being a solid 7 miles, which is more than expected. Not too much more than expected, but feel really good. Most of it was under a 9-minute pace too. I think I averaged like right at 9 minutes. Anywho, I need to finish the rest of that Mr. Pizza. Normally I wouldn't bring a roller bag on a trip like this. It's a quick trip. I don't really need very many options for clothes. But I wanted to go for a run on the promenade, and there's no way that I'm gonna be able to, I can't, my shoes are too big to like fit in my backpack or anything, so figured why not? Might as well take advantage. It was a nice run, but man, like half of a leftover pizza is not enough. My plan for the afternoon is to kind of wander, but with a level of intent. The big debate for me right now, I definitely want to go show you the building that I used to live in. I caught a glimpse of it while I was on my run. Not very far from the ocean. It's actually or the Mediterranean. It's actually really, really close. So we'll go see if we can see that. The question that I have is whether or not I'm going to go all the way over to my school. Today's the day to do it because it's a Sunday, so nobody will be around. So it's not that big of a deal, you know. I don't think if I film over at the high school on a day like today. However, whether or not I actually want to go all the way down there, it's a long ways away. We'll figure it out as we go. I don't know if it's that interesting. I don't know if it's really worth it. Hello, airplane. But we've already wasted enough time showering and stuff, so we probably go. And it turns out Ninu's already in town. For whatever reason, Facebook Messenger does not give me notifications anymore. So she messaged me like an hour and a half ago that she was on her way. And then like
an hour ago wondering where I was. Whoops! So anyways, she's only about 10 minutes away. We'll speed walk there. She wants to grab a drink. Hopefully we grab a drink somewhere that has snacks. I'm excited to see her though. It's been a long time since I've seen her. And then, after we hang out with her for a minute, then we'll go check other stuff out because it sounds like she can only stay for one drink before she has to go. So that was close. Almost missed her entirely. And I would have felt really bad for making her come in just to not see her. I already feel bad enough that she's been wandering around wondering where I was for the last hour, so oops. So sorry, Ninu. I'm gonna apologize profusely in person, but sorry. Last night I did come out for a drink. I was gonna go to there's a beer place that the guy suggested that I was on my way to, and then I found this place like halfway there, and it looked legit, and it was legit. It has 16 taps, all small batch type stuff. Like they swap out different kegs all the time, and it was really, really good. I had a nice double IPA that I really liked, that I actually sent a picture of to Jeff, trying to encourage him to get his butt here, but we'll see. I'll point it out. There's that, and then there's another thing, Spar over here. Completely forgot about Spar. It's like a convenience store, like a little bit of a shopping market. And Noah and I, whenever we were on our way there to pick something up, that is how we refer to it. We'd always talk about it like we were pirates. I'm going to the Spar to get whatever we were out to get. This is the place though, the beer spot, Beer District. If you're looking for a good beer, I think they're the first one of their kind, the first like tap house of that style that's here. Have a dartboard and just lots of really tasty beers. So check out Beer District. They're really, really friendly, really good selection of beers. It was really tasty. Anyway, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we have Spar in Paris, and so I totally forgot that they existed until I was trying to think, what was the name of that place that I used to go to get like pasta and stuff to cook when I lived here, and I saw that last night and I was like, oh yeah, the Spar. Just the spot that Noah and I used to go all the time. And really the only reason that it's worth noting is because it's fun to say, yar, I'm going to the Spar. Ninu's waiting for me in the square that's just up here, Garibaldi, I believe is the name, and grab a drink and go from there. Found a place with the same name that's closed. She's sent me to Giuseppe. I see Giuseppe and Pepimo, but I don't see where she is. Désolé. Tellement. Ouais, toi? Okay, good coffee with Ninu. Well, I mean the coffee itself was kind of crappy, but the time spent was lovely. We'll see if we see her again. She might be joining for future trips. We were discussing that a little bit, which should be fun. In the meantime, if we're going to see stuff, we need to go while there's still daylight. So let's start walking. I haven't been back here in at least 5 years. Possibly, I don't know if I came back to this place the last time I visited or not, but the cool thing about where we lived was that we were literally 1 block in from the sea. So the promenade where I went for my run is right behind me. The building that I lived in is not right there, but basically is gonna be the equivalent of right there here in just a second. Voila. This building is where I used to live. I saw on Google that it was closed, but this down here used to be what was called a City Sport, a sporting goods store that I'm pretty sure I never set foot inside, but it was right at the bottom. Oh yeah, okay, we can see, hold on. Yesterday I was telling you about how it was impossible to find my apartment the first day that I got here. I'm gonna show you why, but I'm also gonna show you my window. All this construction is pretty intense down here though. Like, what is that? I've got like a shipping crane going on down there. Right there. That is where I used to live. It's pretty crazy to see from here. It looks kind of different, to be honest. The windows are closed, but they used to be my window right there, and then right there was Noah's window, and then obviously you can't see our living room from here, but that's where we lived. So I'm pretty sure my old address is 148, and you can see how it says 146B there, and then the next door over is 150. So it skips 146 to 150, and so I remember standing right there for like an hour with my bag, like walking back and forth being like, it has to be here. Like, why isn't it here? There's this gap. There's this lady, this French lady that actually stopped to help me and stuck with me for like 30 minutes where she like, we walked all the way down here together, we walked back, and she kept being like, no, we're gonna find it. And it got to that point where I was like, no, please just leave me alone. Like, thank you for being so nice. Thank you for being so helpful, but like, I just want to give up and go lie down somewhere. And she did eventually give up. You know, I thanked her enough and she was finally like, okay, well, good luck. And then I lucked out because Noah, who I had met before back in the States, like walked out. He just happened to be walking out at one point. I was like, Noah, it's me, I'm here, please let me come in. So yeah, I definitely should have stuck to the original plan. One of the other stories from living on this street was that I saw multiple cars get burned out. You can see how the cars are parked between like posts here. There used to be trees that lined this street. It's tragic that they're not here anymore. Just realized that on numerous occasions. Maybe there's one in particular where we woke up in the middle of the night and there was a car on fire, blazing. Like the flames were probably 30, 40 feet high. Just an inferno, and I didn't even think to grab my camera until the fire department showed up and started putting it out. So I think I got like 1 or 2 photos of it mildly on fire, and then they just left this burned out wreck of a car sitting in front of our apartment for months. Got to the point where I thought, you know what, I'm gonna just put like little decorations in it and flowers and make like a little garden out of it at some point. And then they finally removed it. But I saw like a couple of cars get burned out, a scooter at one point that melted and just kind of generally exploded. A couple of restaurants as well, mafia as well as kids. I think the Spar is out of business. It's not there anymore. I just walked by and thought maybe it was farther down here, but no, the Spar is out of business down here too. Man, everything's changed. Okay, so the question is, to get to the train station, I would walk this way. There's some parks and stuff that way. But then to get back to Vieux this way, I think I'm gonna keep walking closer to the water. I just thought it'd be interesting to walk along here and see what all we saw. So, and I should have stopped at that bakery and grabbed a demi baguette at least, because I still haven't eaten. Got a little coffee, feeling okay. But yeah, okay. One other story from this area. I'm pretty sure I can tell this now because Noah doesn't live here anymore, and I don't think he intends to live here. And I don't think he'd get in trouble for this anymore, but back when I first moved here, Red Bull was illegal. Like, you couldn't actually bring Red Bull into the country. They wouldn't allow you to sell it. However, in Italy, you could sell it. And so Noah would actually go into Italy. He would buy a couple cases of Red Bull, bring it back, sell it to these guys at Tutti Frutti over here. You can see the Red Bull right there. But he'd go to Italy, he'd buy a couple cases, he'd bring it back, he'd sell it to them, and then they would sell it under the counter. I don't know if I'm selling people out for this or not. I'm sure it's different people. Nobody should be implicated in this anymore. But Noah, for a brief period of time, was a Red Bull smuggler. So there you go. Now it's legal. No need to worry about it. Back then, not so much. They were nice. I love the look of this church from the outside. It's kind of got a brutalist look, and I always thought it was closed. I thought this church was closed down. I never knew it was open. So the doors are open. Thought I'd come inside and check. Met some nice people, answered my questions about the place. It's a really interesting church. It's filled with like modern art. Like, look at all this. Looks like they've got some very active artists in here. Anyways, I've never seen this one before. I mean, I walked by it all the time and I just loved the look of this place. It has like a really simplistic and severe exterior. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not an architect, but that's really cool. I've always wanted to go inside that church and never had the chance before. So there we go. There's something new for both of us. Anyways, more stories as they happen. Rialto's movie theater, 10 years ago, the majority of movies were still dubbed. You'd have an American film, but it would be dubbed in French. It was the worst. They've stopped doing that by and large. You don't find them anymore. But I remember going there because I saw I Am Legend had come out. I didn't know anything about the movie. This was back when I was still like super on board with the rising zombie trend. So I just remember going, it was like VO, which means version originale, so it's gonna be in English, has Will Smith in it. I was like, I'm sold, I don't even know what this is about. Went, sat down, and as soon as I realized this is a zombie movie, freaked the flip out. And was just like, I hadn't seen a movie in a movie theater in English in over 3 months. I was just stoked beyond all reason to see it. And so I'll always remember the Rialto for that. Then I went back every once in a while for a movie. It was good. There used to be a hat store on the street. I think it was like right there. I think that's where it was. And that was when I first discovered that hats in France don't fit me. Like shoes, my head, my feet, way too big for the French. So I tried, oh, there it is. That's it right there. I really just wanted to get some sort of a classy French hat. I tried on like 4 and the lady just looked at me like, none of them are gonna fit. So eventually I gave up. It was a sad day. Missed it because we walked all this way back down the boardwalk on the inside, which is kind of fun because that's the way that I would walk a lot of times. But we didn't have internet in our apartment. We stole it from the neighbors as much as we could, but that didn't work most of the time. So we would have to go somewhere to find internet. And back then, the closest place with internet was McDonald's, and it was like 1.5 miles away. So it was a decent walk to get there. But it was this McDonald's that I would come to, and just look, they've got a second story right there, right? Just look at their view. Not bad. Probably one of the nicer views that a McDonald's has in the world. And especially when the sun is setting, let's go take a look at this. This is also where I was introduced to Carnival. I've never done Carnival before. I don't think they really do it much farther north. I don't think they do it in Paris, but it's a huge parade that they have here, and they actually burn an effigy that like represents the year before. And I'm pretty sure they burned Sarkozy the year that I was here. Amazing. They actually put it on a barge and sent it out to sea, light it on fire and just let it burn. It's kind of fun to watch. For those of you who wondered, the Côte d'Azur is called the Côte d'Azur because it's an azure blue, right? Which is this blue just out here. It's fairly unique to the location. The other thing though about this place is that the beach is covered in rocks. Probably my least favorite part about Nice is that the beach, look at these stones. And in the summer when everybody's covered in like tanning oil and sunscreen and whatever else, they just get greasy, and so they hurt your feet and they're greasy at the same time. It's not nice. That I don't like. There are sandy beaches around, but hey, if you like stony beaches, this is about as good of stony beaches as you're ever gonna find. Heading back into Old Nice. The trick is going to be finding a good spot for Daube. There was a place I went to once that I really liked, but it was 10 years ago. I can't remember what it was. And I asked my friends who are from here, and they had no recommendations. So if we can find a really kitsch place to eat, we'll give that a try. I've gone into like 4 places, but this place says Nice specialties. Let's see. I bet you that's it right there. Excuse me, what is it? The waiter next door said their Daube was good, so here goes. This smells amazing. The ravioli has the Daube, like the beef in it, but then the beef's also, they give you like big chunks that have been sitting. Usually this is prepared the night before and then left to stew all day long. And it was worth the wait. It just melts in your mouth. It's so good. That was nice. A good reminder that I've been enjoying how chill life in Nice is. Today I forgot just how nice and slow moving it was. So too is the service. The customer service is also really slow moving. Good reminder. Thank you, patrons. That was delicious. I think the next food poll will come up on Monday. Figure out what I'm gonna do for that. Anywho, gonna head back. Gonna edit my vlog. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, leaving a comment, that'd be great. Greatly love it. I'd love to hear from you. And we'll see what surprises I have in store for you tomorrow.